Well, today we want to tell you a story that probably started 2 years ago, because we have been working in the hospitality industry, restaurants, hotels, many years. And well, when we work in regular industry, you can make a lot of crazy things. What can go wrong? Maybe 10 cars going to scrap. Okay. When we work in hospitals, we can make a lot of crazy things. Nobody is going to die, but maybe 10 patients will wait more today because of this experiment, but they will come for sure again. But when you do that in restaurants, probably, okay, you can damage your reputation, and this is a problem. So we want to do a super lean experiment in a restaurant. So 2 years ago, I say to some people that I know, I want to do this, a super lean restaurant. And they say, what, when, how we can help that? So began to dream and to do about that. Well, I'm Oriol Cuatrecasas.
And I'm Elsa, and we're going to guide you through this amazing story.
Yeah, this is a little through what we're going to explain.
But what has this restaurant to do with Lean?
Well, so I have the dream, but Elsa is the person in the institute that worked there 25/8, more or less. Okay. So because Elsa, Lean loves food. Because there is something more just in time than to cook. There is more importance in inventory than food that have expired date. There is more a small batch size that orders of people and customers and guests. So it seems that Lean has been done just, not for Toyota, sorry, but for the hospitality industry, for restaurants, okay? But on the other side, when we go to a restaurant, it seems that they are still in the 20th century, making mass production. 5 liters of soap, it's better than just 3. Okay, making the full day of tomatoes is better just cut a couple of tomatoes. And on the other side, we try to hide the value. What is the value creation? In a dark room, hiding from you, okay? It's called kitchen, you know this, okay? It's there, okay? And they're trying to get stability, not making things better, but making even more far away by pre-cooked stuff, okay? So it's strange, it's strange. But then, what we love about food, we only find by design in a super 3-star Michelin restaurants, where the cook goes to your kitchen, explains the value, even finish the cook in front of you. Why by design we hide things? We put red lights to say, yes, I want to have inventory of finished stuff here, preventing to reach you. So why we design in this old way? Well, we say, how is a restaurant? A restaurant is a place where we have a kitchen separated from the customers with some stock in the middle, of course. They say to be prepared. We have stock before, and also we have some stock to prevent the customers to arrive to the restaurant. We call it queue. Okay, it's another kind of inventory. If the restaurant is bigger, the kitchen is bigger, better if we have walls inside, okay, to make separation, okay, to have customers far away, if possible in a terrace even more far away, and preventing making more waste and more movements. Well, we say, and why not to move where the industry has been moving? How the super big plants, industry plants have been changing?
So we wanted to do the same as in the industry. We wanted to operate in cells. So 1 cook per cell, and we wanted to be as close as possible to our customers. And as well, we wanted to make the most of our space. So if we had the restaurant full, we opened all our cells. If we had 50%, we only had to open 50% of our kitchens. So it was more optimized.
Yeah. Monday, 1 cell. Why to use all the full kitchen and get everything dirty to try to occupy some positions, minimum positions? Well, luckily on Saturday we make a lot of money. But this is not lean about. We want to always make benefit, not just sometimes to make benefit. So then we think, okay, let's try this. This is an hypothesis. Which is the minimum cell? Which is the minimum working cell? And we try to design this minimum working cell. Of course, in this minimum working cell, we need to have a hot place, a cold space and a neutral space, and let's say a dirty space, okay? Of course, we don't want to have a separate inventory, so all the stock, everything have to be there, okay? And surrounded by customers. So let's try this. Well, we talk about the introduction, and now let's talk about the first thing. Well, Dave, we should start with something called value. You name value? Okay, let's start with this.
So the first thing we knew is that we needed to focus on what was the value to our customers. So we started to look into that, and actually we came up with a couple of things that made absolute no sense to the hospitality world. And we didn't understand what we were doing. People didn't understand what we were doing. Customers didn't understand what we were doing, but it was what we found that was value, so we had to go with it because we couldn't contaminate the experiment from the start. So the first thing we did was identifying the different clusters we were going to work with. Then we started to study them on a deeper level. And then we identified that strange value that we're going to talk about now. And we did what you're seeing now, the customer stream map. So identifying the steps that the customer would go through and how they would feel through each step of the process in order to improve their experience.
So it was crazy because we start with the value. So from, as Elsa said, from the persona analysis, value proposition, gains, pains, the customer journey map, the customer stream map, and from this we ended in a value stream map. So we didn't design, let's say, the restaurant, the kitchen, but just the opposite. We designed from the value point of view. Of course, we ended in something different. When we open, a lot of different competitors, let's say, all the chefs in the area come there to see, what's that? And most of them makes. This will never work. And some of them were very, very good people, really very good people, and say, some of them now, but some of them say, you are not of this industry. No, we never run a restaurant. Oh yes, you can notice that. You know that you will fail? Yes, probably. But because this cannot work in this way. And we say, why? Because after the value, we have to understand the work, design the work after the value, not first the work and then the value. And they say, this will never go. Why? Because this is not how a kitchen is supposed to work. But why? Because this is not a kitchen how it's supposed to work. But why? I told you, okay? I'm in the industry, okay? This is not how a kitchen is supposed to work. And a restaurant, of course, this will never happen. Okay, problem going to arrive to your conclusion, but this is an experiment, okay? So let's try to see that if this is true or not true. And well, so we want to, I'm going to advance a little on the spoiler at the end. We're doing 2 books. One is a workbook, how to run a restaurant, with specific things, how to run your inventory, how to run the queues, how to run, and then we're going to make another book that it's more experience, about the experience that we feel. The title is going to be, You Will Fail, How to Run a Successful Restaurant, okay? And this is the title, so probably in 1 or 2 years you can find it here in LEI. Well, we talk about the value, how we arrive to our value stream map, very important from the value. Sometimes you have the temptation to jump off this because this is not the right conclusion. No, start from the value, really. So what Dave is proposing in the LTF, it's true, it's real. So if you follow that, you arrive to the right conclusions, okay? And sometimes you know that Lean goes to some places that it's strange when you say in the industry, stop production. Why? Because there is not a pull system. But we cannot stop. Yes, we have to, okay? So really it works. Well, so we have a project. We have to start the project. Some people help it, 365 help it a lot. They give us for a couple of months one place, that it was a former restaurant, of course a traditional restaurant, so we have to remove 75% of the kitchen, too big, we don't need that, so we remove here, and then other people like Estrabonus, an architect, Benji is the head, helped us with all the design of everything. Simon, an electric company, paid the refurbishing of the full place. And other people, Campos Stella, give us the cook. So a lot of companies helped us in this experiment, okay? Here it's Benji explaining, imagine, I could not imagine how things will like and how things will look, and it was very, very good. And of course, one of the main things is that we're going to do a lot of experiments. That means that we need different people every day. Our dream is to be in the airport, because one day you can make sushi, the other day you can make Tex-Mex, and nobody notices. So we need a place with a lot of movement. So we choose a place in one of the main high streets in the Barcelona area, in Badalona. We have as a neighbors, you can see Mango, H&M, Benetton, Sugar. We're in the middle. And this makes that a lot of different people go through every day, because, of course, not every day everybody goes to buy in H&M, or not every day everybody goes to buy at Benetton. Hypothesis.
Well, so here you can see the day that we were putting up the sign. And, well, everyone was stopping by because they were so curious about what was going on. You have to think that Badalona is a big place, but the center is not so big. Like, everyone knows what's going on. Yes, it's like a neighborhood. So everyone was stopping by, looking into the mirror, into the glass to see what was going on inside. And even we appeared in the newspaper, actually. They invented whatever they wanted just to tell the story about what was going on, and it was actually so funny to read. And well, because people were so curious, we decided to apply our principles. We wanted to be transparent, so here you go. So we put the Hoshin in the door, so everyone could read what we were going to do, what we wanted to do, and how we were doing.
Yeah. So we published our goals in the public door with every week we put the performance, how we are doing, and then with some post-its, which is the current experiments of the week. So everybody can follow that. And even some people go there, not for dining, but to, hey, how is this week the experiment, okay? So, but we want to create this community. We want to share that with our let's say, customers, because customers not only the people that it's dining, but also is the whole area. Well, this is how the restaurant looks like. It was a big place. We don't have too much money, so we put a curtain and we just cut it at half. So at the very beginning, we have what we call the drink area. Okay, all the seats is from the previous restaurant, so we take profit of all of them. We have something like 26 seats, and this is the kitchen with the neutral area, the hot area at the end, and the cold area. Okay. And of course the toilet and the curtain that prevents to go to the side that we just don't use that. Looking in the kitchen, we make everything, of course, with flow. The cold goes to the customer or goes to the oven. On the hot area, it's not everything hot. Also, we have cold areas in order to have all the correct steps. Also, we have the dirty area there because we don't use chemicals, so we put the barriers and we play with the aids, everything legal, okay? And we don't have chemicals. This is why we can have it there, and then the circuits are more better. We use ozone water. We call it the holy water, okay? Because when you clean, it smells the chemicals. Ozone water doesn't smell, so you have to trust that this will this will work, okay? It's the holy water, okay? And of course, we have a menu, okay? We have a lot of help in the menu, and the menu have a lot of links to the Lean community. Of course, we have pizzas, something circular. What is the name of something circular? PDCA. So our pizzas was plan, do, check, act. It was nice to see. We want 2 do's and 1 check, okay? It was nice. Of course, our fish is at Ishikawa style, okay? Our French fries is just in time, as it should be. Our entrecote is jidoka, you never fail, right first quality, okay? So, of course, we have a spaghetti flow a la bolognese. We have a lot of links to the Lean community, but 98%, 95% is not lean people, and it was nice to see that. And we have a lot of these things. As you can notice, we were all-purpose or no-purpose restaurant. So because we want to test everything, from quick things to slow things, from hot to cold, from preparation to no preparation, okay? In order to try to understand and meet everything. Well, we make brunch, we make a lot of very nice things. Well, we talked about the project, and now let's go for the experiments.
Let's go.
Well, our experiment was a lean kitchen where everything is just in time. That means with almost no previous work, where we don't have food waste. Our goal is 0 kilos. We want to use the minimum equipment. If we can use 2 stoves, don't use 4. You can put a small oven, don't use a big oven. And of course, with a minimum lead time. But to make this experiment of a lean kitchen, we need something. Customers. So we need to make a second experiment. A restaurant.
So as Oriol said, we need customers, because if you don't have the customer, you don't know, there's no point in doing it, no? So we did a no purpose, as he said. It makes no sense from a commercial point of view, but it made a lot of sense to us because we needed the freedom to try anything that we wanted. If we needed to do some Japanese, we needed to be able to do that, or Italian, but not focusing so much on the cuisine style, but on the processes per se. So obviously, you can guess that we worked with small batches. Our kitchen was really small, and we only had 1 cell to do the experiment, so we couldn't have big batches of people, and we didn't want them. And we did 2 styles. We did the menu a la carta, and we did the formula, which we call menu, and a bit confusing. So how it worked. During the lunchtime, you could choose whatever you wanted from the menu, or you could choose from the formula if you wanted like a really quick option to have something to eat and then go back to work or go back to shopping. And at night, it was like typical restaurant. You could choose only from the menu. And we were working all day. We were opened all day. So it was technically only a restaurant during lunch and dinner time, but the rest of the opening hours, we were a coffee shop. And this was something that caused a bit of confusion at the start.
Yeah, so questions. Can this work? And where is the limit? On the other side, there is no purpose. Okay, so then how we can attract guests? And there's not Tex-Mex, there's not sushi, it's not Italian, it's just lean. Lean is really a benefit for the customers? Lean is a benefit for the guest? Well, let's find. First hypothesis, just in time. If we cook everything just in time, it increases the quality and it will decrease the time.
Yeah, so what we saw was that, and what we thought that would happen, was that when you do things just at the right moment, just in time, the quality improves and the freshness improves as well. And we decrease the waste of food, the time to prepare everything, and the space needed. That was all confirmed because we did almost everything that we could. We'll explain it better later, but we did all our things at the right time, and the customers were so happy to see that we were doing everything so fresh, so fast, and that we didn't have a lot of stock, so we didn't have to throw practically any food.
Yeah. So our thinking was, well, we have a number of customers. You have seen more or less 45 minutes of eating experience, 2.5 guests per party, 1.5 dishes per person. That means takt time of 2 minutes per dish. So if we are able to do everything in a 90-second working time, then we can feed with the customer. Are we able to cook in a 90-second working time? Let's find, for example, an entrecôte. An entrecôte, to put the entrecôte in the grill, it's 15 seconds. Then it's okay? I can do other things. Then, after 4 minutes, I have to tilt it and put the potatoes in the fryer. Then, this is 20 seconds. When it finishes, I have to take out the sun, okay? And then put it in the dish, put the fries, and put some decoration. This 25, total 72 seconds. Yes, working time I can do an entrecote in less than 90 seconds. So we managed everything, and we see that almost everything can be done in less than 90 seconds. In fact, average was much lower. You will find in the breakout. Okay. Of course, we time everything. We make improvements on everything in order to find it. But to start from scratch. Okay. And then the hypothesis. What about the quality?
So did it actually improve the quality? Okay, so let's see the numbers. They speak by themselves. We did a survey on each one of our customers, here you can see the results, and you can see that rarely it goes below 4. Actually, the quality of the food was really good thanks to doing it just in time.
We make something 1,500 people surveys. So everybody is part of the experiment. We want to take from 95% of people answer it, so we want to understand this. Every day, what is the performance? We have our daily management and all these things. Second hypothesis, it's stupid, I know, but it's true, okay? When we have customers, we need a cook. When we don't have customers, we don't need a cook, right? Because most of the restaurants, most of the time with a cook, they are spent when they are closed. Okay, preparing everything. 5 or 6 hours, an army of people preparing everything, batches, okay, inventory, in order that when they open, they are ready. We say the opposite. Okay, we have 90-second working time. We time the salad. Salad is 60 seconds. If I cut the tomato from scratch, when you order the salad, okay, 70 seconds. If I do the salad, cut the tomato and peel the carrots. If I do the salad, the tomato, the salads, and the onions, okay, we want to put everything until the 90 seconds. So instead of preparing before, I want to do just when the customer is there, until the 90 seconds. Okay? So I want to take profit of the cook when we have the customers. Okay, but then on the preparation that we do before, we do only things that makes value added. For example, soups and sauces. We do our own sauces, our own soups. If you do the soup 4 hours before, it takes better taste. Also with the sauces and this kind. So only value added things we want to do it before. And well, making so much content during the serving, with the dining or the lunch, what happens with the speed?
So we didn't serve anyone. No, it was amazing. We did actually, if you see the numbers, you can see that no matter the people, except one day that there is an accident that we're not going to talk about today, we'll see that the speed was pretty good reviewed by the customers.
So they rate 4.6 over 5. Not so bad for someone that doesn't know anything about restaurants. And as Elsa said, it doesn't matter how many people we have in the dining room, that they have the same experience. Okay, so the system works, and this is important for us. Okay, well, third hypothesis, it's stupid, but removing waste reduce time. You know that? Okay, so we try to don't create over waste, trying to balance work. What does it mean that? For example, I'm the cook, and I finish an entrecote, okay? And they leave the entrecote here, inventory, and then someone called waiter comes from the other side of the restaurant, movement, and now make over processing. Table 3, table 3. Table 3, right? Yeah, table 3. Over-processing this information, okay, go back. And then, of course, transport, okay? Why all these ways? Why we created all these ways? In order to balance, because cook have more time than waiter. And we try to balance with this. But we're creating waste. maybe it's better that the cook, when they finish the entrecote, just go to the table and delivers the entrecote. Okay? Less waste. So who is serving the cook, like in the 3-star Michelin restaurants, but because it makes more sense. So it's better for the value of the customer, it's better for the global time. And globally, we're going to spend less time. Okay, what does that mean? That I need more cooks than waiters? Okay, why not? If this is better for everybody, okay? This is one of the things that the other restaurants said this will never work because cooks don't want to go to the tables. They cannot leave the kitchen. Even you can have some safety problems if you leave the kitchen. But, okay, work comes after the value, okay? So we're going to change the work in order to meet that, to meet these things. Well, and we did it, and it worked. Well, we have been talking about the kitchen experiments. Let's talk a little about the restaurant experiments.
Mm-hmm. So as Oriol was saying, if the waiter is not going to serve the food, and if the waiter is not going to collect food, we're left with the ordering part. And we saw that it was about 30 seconds, which is a lot of the time. So,
yeah. What to do with the order? So here we want to do 4 experiments. First experiment is to do a Kanban board. So every table, when they want something, they just put it in a Kanban board. Cook sees that, if it's near, and they produce in a pull way. Then we make an ejunka board. I'm going to show you the ejunka board. Third system is a traditional waiter. And fourth system is with a tablet, digital. To understand which is the perception of the customer with the different systems and have this understanding. In reality is that we make just the first 2. I'm going to explain you why, okay? Well, this is how the system works. So is this system, so we have the menu. In the menu, there is some codes. We give some stickers to the people. We give stickers because it's very flexible, and we know that it's not very ecological, but it works for the purpose. So they put the stickers in this little board of what you wish. So you are self-ordering in a way. And when you finish, you put the order in our ejunka. Okay, you put it there. You can see there is some numbers. This number is how much are you going to wait. Okay, so you know that because in most of the restaurants this is a pain that we have. Oh my God, how much I'm going to wait? You can talk if you wish with the cook, okay, and that's all. So the cook, when it arrives, the cook sees that, okay, and they produce. They produce in a special way. We make that the customer order themselves. So this is something that will never work. The other restaurants say, because people, when you're in a restaurant, one of the concerns is that you want to be served. Okay, you want to be attended. You want to be the center of that. You don't want to do this job. Okay, there is a lot of tricky things behind that later we're going to explain in order to understand how this works. But we discovered something important. All the young people rate this system super high, 5, 5, 5, 5. All the old people rate this system quite low, 2, 1, 2, 1. And middle-aged people, depending on how young you feel today, okay? And then we ask, I remember I asked it to young ladies, and I asked, why you rate? You come here a couple of times, I recognize you. Why you rate this system so good? And they say, look, today I ordered it, I take my order, okay? Today we ordered an spaghetti to share, and then my friend asked for an entrecote, okay? And I asked for an empanadilla, and then to share a salad. If I go to a traditional restaurant and we say, we're going to share a spaghetti, sharing a spaghetti? Look sharing a spaghetti? Okay, I see a salad, I put salad as a starter, right? No. We want to share an spaghetti, yes, it's strange, but this is what we want. My friend is going to eat an entrecôte because she's training in a volleyball team and she is hungry. I just want an empanadilla because I'm in my bikini, okay, goal. And then finally, we're going to share a salad because I don't want to see my friend eating while I'm not doing nothing, okay? So we're going to share a salad to balance work between us, okay? This is my translation. And, okay, I understand. If I say that to a waiter will judge me. And this is true. How many times you have been in a good restaurant and you didn't order what you wish? You're in a super seafood restaurant and today you want a fried chicken. But you are obliged to ask for sea bass with salt, crusty, because it's the recommendation of the chef. Because of course you're in this place, you have to order this. But sometimes you want just the kids menu, these croquettes. It seems nice, okay? No, but you are judged. Most of us, you are not young. If you don't know, I tell you, okay? And we have been educated with waiters, even in the worst pub in whatever, okay? You find a waiter, but not young people. So if you go, and now I notice, if you go to a McDonald's, the electronic counters, they have queues. But the manual counter is empty, and there is no one there. They prefer to go for the kids menu, even. You can ask whatever, and no one is going to judge you. Okay, so it's changing things. So our relation with waiters is strange, let's say. Okay, so which is the value then of a waiter? Which is the value of a waiter?
Exactly, because as we said, we were thinking, okay, so they do the ordering, but if the waiter is not doing the ordering, what do? So they do nothing. We don't have waiters, and that's it. So the solution we came up with was using our barista that on lunch and dinner time was the person in charge of the beverages. And we put it them to the only task that actually added value, which was attending.
So the only mission, as Elsa said, is just to go there. We make a meal run in order to see everybody, even everybody in the corner of the restaurant. How do you feel if you're in the corner of the restaurant or you want more wine? Okay, so we make a meal run, a forested meal run for that. We want to share with you, well, after all these things.
Yeah, the customer care experience was amazing, 4.6 over 5. People were so happy, and you would think that they didn't have a waiter, they didn't have anyone over them, but we were looking after them all the time, and we were attending them the right way, the way that they actually wanted to be attended.
So we don't take the orders, we don't have waiter, and people, not only my mother, says 4.6, so it's very good for us. So attending value maybe is a different thing. It's not just doing task, it's something else. Okay. Well, some results just to finish. We open in January, February. You know that January is the best month for a restaurant. Okay. So, but we will rave. This is the number of people that we have in every dining every day. And on the last 2 weeks, we almost only run on bookings because we're so full every day that we cannot run in a different way. Of course, we make profit. It was part of the goal to make profit. Because, of course, we can lose any money that we wish. Investment, of course, never was recovered. But as operating profit, we want operating, taking into account also the amortization, the investment, so everything in a real way. Because we want to be fair with competition, also because it's part of the experiment. Here you have some numbers. And then at the end, the most important question, okay, is on the results. Are you going to recommend us? Rate was 4.5 on 5. For someone that doesn't have a restaurant experience, it's not so bad, I think. But if you, and this, all the surveys, it doesn't matter how many people we have in the restaurant this day, it's quite consistent. And if we isolate the data on Google Maps and TripAdvisor on just these 2 months, we have been the second best restaurant in the city. So very, very, very good. We appeared on television. Television goes to see us. We go to the radio. We appeared in the back cover of one of the main newspapers in Catalonia. Probably we have spread more Lean just in 2 months than 10 years in the Institute. Well, thank you very much. And as we say, bon appetit, bon profit.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest Lean content.